What is going on, guys? It is time for another Pop Culture Crisis movie review here today. My name is Brett, and I'm here with my co-host. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, Crisis Actors. It's Mary.
And what are we reviewing today?
The Fall Guy. I am so glad that we went to see this movie. Usually we have the easy way out of a movie review because we usually don't like the things we see. It's easy to criticize.
It feels like most of our movie reviews end up with me softening the take on whatever it is due to my eternal sad optimism that is always
and
there.
And me just like flame throwing
I'm the glass half full guy. You're more the glass half empty girl. And that's fine. I think that's why it works for most of these things. But I don't think that's the case here. I think that all parties involved that went to see The Fall Guy left much happier than even they might have expected to from this. And I was looking forward to this, I think, more than any other movie this year. And I can say confidently that this is probably going to end up being my favorite film this year.
You said it was your favorite movie we've ever gone to see for a review.
Probably since Maverick.
Oh.
It's not better than Maverick, but that was 2020. I'm thinking like 2022, 2023. I think this is easily my favorite of those films.
Yes.
This was written by Drew Pearce and Glenn A. Larson. Drew Pearce did Hobbs and Shaw and Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. So he worked on Hobbs and Shaw with David Leitch, who directed it, who, of course, did Bullet Train, which a lot of people really, really enjoyed, us included. He also did Hobbs and Shaw, which I forgot that he's the one who did that. And it's funny because we were just talking. It randomly came up in a conversation yesterday as one of those action movies because we were talking about the climate change topic and how I pointed out, I said, look, that's the type of line where in that film it's like it gets this, people pointed out, I was like, but it's like one line in a movie that I really, really enjoyed. And Bullet Train, of course, I think was fantastic. He also did Atomic Blonde, which was really, really good. It stars Ryan Gosling and Emily Blunt, who I'm happy to say probably they found the perfect chemistry for this film. These two actors.
Maybe the only type of chemistry that two actors can have if they're both happily married.
Yeah, so that was what I was going to say. So there's a difference between types of chemistry in Hollywood, and the reason why it works for this is the tone of this movie isn't it's not some type of sexualized they don't want to tear each other's clothes off. It's sweet. And it's charming, and they find that perfect mixture of chemistry that goes along with the charming, humorous tone that the film takes. So what the movie is, before we get too deep into it, stuntman Colt Seavers. Is it Seaver or Seavers?
Seavers.
Okay, Seavers, right? At one point I thought I heard him say Seaver, but it was Seavers. Colt Seavers, he gets injured, and then he gets brought back by his old producer to go looking for the star actor that he was the stunt double for, played by Aaron Taylor Johnson. And he gets thrown into this absolutely bonkers story where someone is murdered, and he has to then figure out what happened, find his the guy he stunt doubles for, the actor he stunt doubles for, and then after a shocking turn of events,
he gets framed.
He gets framed
for
and he has
that
to
murder.
prove himself innocent, and you're off to the races.
At the same time, he's doing it all to win back the director, Jody, with whom he had a fling before his injury. So he's doing this all to rekindle their fling into a real relationship.
Yeah. I think that's where the perfect balance is no matter how deep into the action stuff they get, they pull it back to scenes of him and Jody, played by Emily Blunt, trying to figure out just what the hell is going to happen to them now that they're both back in the same place. And both of them really, really find this magical tone in the comedy of two people, not even necessarily will they, won't they, but should we, shouldn't we?
Yeah, I think what really helps is that Jodie's character is not cold.
No, she's unbelievably warm.
Yeah, she's like guarded at first, but only in a very normal, understandable way. I don't think they overdid her bitchiness at all. She's mad at him because he never explained why after his injury he never came back to set.
Yeah.
So there's an explanation for why she needs to like give him a second chance.
There's a fantastic scene where now he's just arrived on set to work on this movie that she's finally getting. It's called Metal Storm. Just the greatest generic name.
I was like, I want to see Metal Storm.
I do.
After this.
Where they set up a stunt piece where he has to get thrown against a wall, and she then basically complains about everything that went wrong in their relationship as though it was what was going on in the movie Metal Storm.
Right. She's like written this whole movie about their relationship, basically.
And the best part about it is they allow her to be a woman and to be a little bit irrational.
Yeah.
But out of hurt, out of connection with another person, not out of a callous disregard of another person's existence, but because she actually was so moved by their time together that she was hurt, which explains why. And Gosling plays this absolutely perfectly, where I don't even know really how to describe what his character is. It's almost, it's charmingly... it's charmingly involved with everything she does, meaning that he will embrace everything she says. He's kind of just looking for his way in, and he just wants to impress her and have her taken back. And a lot of people would say many men will go great distances, to find to get back the person that they love. And that's why this movie has a lot of heart, a lot of soul.
I guess what some cynical viewers could say is that he's a simp. Would you disagree with that?
Look, the thing is, though, he's played so cool as a dude who can do all these death-defying things and get out of all of these dangerous situations. Granted, a lot of it by the skin of his teeth, but he's going up against bad guys with guns. So even if he is, no, I don't know if I agree with that.
He's not a simp.
It's not a simp because she's not cold. She's not distant. If anything, she's more engaged. And that
it's not him begging to please take me back, because she is playing into it and she's cutting him some slack every moment. It's not pathetic the way that he does it, and he's a cheerleader for her project in a wholesome way.
Yeah. And okay, so one of the things they had to nail, and it really, really worked, was early on in the movie. Well, first of all, I want to get into the opening shot, which, if you're a film nerd, there is a very, very long Steadicam opening shot that introduces the characters from the perspective of Colt Seavers. That's all done in one take, or at least it's cut to look as if it's all done in one take, from the moment he leaves his trailer to behind the scenes production, all the way up to this initial set rig for this fall, that both introduces all the characters and introduces the first hurdle that he has to. It's what invites the whole story to happen after that. It's all done in one shot, and it's really, really good. But from there, what happens is when they come together, there's a montage. Once he's overseas, it's to a Taylor Swift song. And if they didn't nail this montage, the whole movie could have fallen apart, because that's where they actually show you the chemistry that you're not allowed to see beforehand, because all of those things happened before that opening scene.
Yeah.
Right? And if that montage doesn't work, I don't think the rest of the movie works.
Right. Yeah. They did it really well. I liked that. Well, okay. First of all, the twist later on about the producer, Gail, played by Hannah Waddingham, it was very predictable, but I liked that they had that character name check toxic masculinity. I think they did it in the perfect way, where you can see that this woman is the most toxic, lying, backstabbing, clout chasing, social climbing person ever. And she is using the term toxic masculinity to take the blame off of herself.
As a shield.
Right.
As a shield, absolutely.
I thought that was done really well.
Well, also, and it draws a certain amount of comparison between her and Jodie, when at the end of the film, and I guess we can't give away the whole thing, she says, we're a lot alike, and Jodie's like, we're not alike.
Right.
We're not alike at all. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Another, so these montages did a lot of the heavy lifting. There's another one later where they're in front of the the Sydney Opera House, and it's cut between this scene that's supposed to be Jodie is the director of this film, and she's doing camera work, filming Colt Seavers doing all of these action sequences, and then what it is it's intercut between cut parts of that scene where they're
the
having
finished
moments,
movie and
they're
them
having
filming
moments
it, you
off
mean?
screen where they're looking at the same tablet, or they're eating together, and it's all done so well. And Emily Blunt, I really think, is really, really good. We were talking about Argyle, why we liked Argyle and a lot of other people didn't, but I think the reason why this is going to be even more successful is because both of these actors are leagues above the average performer.
Yeah,
they are.
I think that this is everything we liked about Argyle, but leveled up.
Yes.
Because we did have some minor criticisms of Argyle, and I enjoyed it regardless. But yeah, and it's also the perfect blend of rom-com and action. I don't think it was too heavy on either one, which does mean that there is something in it for everyone who goes to see it.
I saw some criticisms of the editing and the pacing. I said, given the disparate tones of both an action, a comedy action, and a romantic comedy, how those have to blend together, I actually felt like the movie moved along perfectly well. And the way that they would intercut him talking to her on the phone while also going out and doing this investigative work kept moving it along just fine. And it was fantastic. They even give Jodie a girl boss moment in the trailer where she beats the crap out of him while he's wearing the suit.
Oh, yeah.
So they give her girl boss moment. She's not a helpless woman, but it's done in a charming way where he's wearing this alien suit, and it's just really good, and it's wholesome, and you just don't get a lot of movies that approach love in a tone anything other than cynical these days. And it's really good.
I can see that they were taking cues from Tom Cruise with this movie, for sure, with the obvious emphasis on stunts and also like the part that they put at the beginning before it starts.
The Paramount movies
a lot of these movies are doing like a prelude where the director and the star are thanking you for going to see it and stuff like that. But it's also like following in the footsteps of Top Gun Maverick, kind of late to the game, in that finally you can see a traditionally masculine, straight white male protagonist, fight to save the day and get the girl at the end.
And it also proves that
that's really rare.
It is. And it proves that when you do that character, it doesn't have to be cynical. He's still quirky. He's still he acts haphazard from moment
He has
to moment.
emotions.
But he gets out of situations of his own accord. He doesn't luck out of everything. There's a scene where they dump him in gasoline and then he blows the gasoline on the dude as he's lighting a match.
Yeah.
Like that's him escaping that situation.
He's clever. I like that he's not a panicky male lead.
Correct.
You never see him freaking out or panicking.
He's kind of a bemusedly overwhelmed male lead. Like as all this stuff's happening, he's like, oh,
he hasn't slept in 72 hours.
Yes, he just looks absolutely. Only Ryan Gosling could look that handsome while looking absolutely like jet lagged and wrecked, as we know. But that's the point. He's not supposed to look like an everyman. He's got to look at least a little bit like his the guy he's doubling, which is Aaron Taylor Johnson. Which again, I never thought that. I mean, they have kind of the same oval face, but when they put them side by side in the car, they look damn near identical when they're doing that.
Yeah.
The other thing that this movie is it's a bit of a love letter to cinema in the process of making movies, as well as what it means to work in stunts. There's a joke like, isn't there an Oscar for stunts? And he's like, no. It's like, no, there's no Oscar for stunts.
But I think they did that without seeming too pretentious about it.
No, but a great example of this is towards the end of the movie, he jumps from a crane camera on a car to a helicopter.
Yeah.
Like that is the most meta ode to action you could possibly make, and it's fantastic. Yeah.
And also the Aaron Taylor Johnson's character is depicting an actor being out of touch, out of control, having a huge ego. And I like that.
And being generally a bad person.
Yeah, being generally a bad person and a murderer.
Yeah.
So I think that even though it's an ode to cinema, it's not done in a pretentious, self-indulgent way.
No, if anything. And then the other one is, so Winston Duke's character is in this too. And he was really, like, all the people that were part of the main cast that were at least in it for more than just a couple of minutes, meaning that Gail Waddingham's character, Winston Duke's character, he plays a stunt coordinator who works with Colt Seavers, and it's just really, really good.
Didn't sell me on Winston Duke as Batman, but that's a whole other conversation.
We'll have that discussion another time. But there was references to like Notting Hill and Love Actually and movies and romantic comedies and things like that, and they're having this back and forth, and every time they were on screen talking to each other, I bought right back into it. The action doesn't take place in a vacuum where that's the only thing that matters. It's all in service of him getting back to this girl. And they tie it up nicely at the end with exactly what you want. It's not cynical. It's not a setup for a sequel. It's just a romantic comedy where the guy gets the girl, and I don't think you can ask for anything more.
Yeah, you don't need to overcomplicate it any further.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.